Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Doctor Who and Autism series. Today, I'm John with Ori, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to speak about Doctor Who and Autism. So, thank you for joining me today,
Thank
Ori.
you for having me. Hi.
Yeah, it's going to be great because I know you like Doctor Who. As funny
A
enough,
little bit.
yeah, and you do a bit of work in autism, like as well, don't you? So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to hear about that. But before we talk about any of that, would you mind just introducing yourself a little bit?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Ori. I'm a 13th Doctor cosplayer on TikTok. I have other social medias as well, but mostly TikTok. And I also work in education with people with additional needs. And of course, that does include autism as well.
Yeah,
So yeah.
uh, fun stuff, fun stuff. um, so I guess with like did did you start cosplaying like from the 13th Doctor then? Is that how it kind of started for you?
Yeah, it was supposed to be just well, the excuse was to buy it for Halloween. But I just wanted it really. And then I wore it for Halloween and then it just kind of sat there until one day I was just like got a funny idea for a video, made one video and people really liked it. And Katie Haynes found it immediately and was just like all over it, like, oh, it's so amazing, more videos. And then made more videos and then, you know, that was in December and I've just done it ever since.
Okay, so you kind of started like December time and then you've gone on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? Just acting.
So
Yeah,
much
yeah.
it's a good break from like real life as well to just have that time to sort of have that escapism and sort of be someone else for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Because I guess you kind of relate to the character as well. Like,
Mm,
what it's why maybe you choose to do maybe the 30th Doctor. You have maybe a bit similarities in yourself, maybe to the 30th
yeah,
Doctor.
yeah. Um, she's very just goofy, likes making jokes, is always just sort of like all over the place, which I definitely can relate to. We're also, you know, fairly from the same area, so it's the same sort of way of speaking and things like that. So she's from Huddersfield, and I'm from sort of West Yorkshire, about
Oh,
bit higher up in Yorkshire than she is.
yeah, yes.
So same dialects, and both blonde.
Yeah,
Things that are similar between us. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's good, like because like cosplaying is good fun. Um, maybe don't do it in the heat. I guess some people will,
Yeah.
but
Oh
no.
no.
Uh,
Like all my videos are from like the 2 cold days we've had where I've like filmed the whole day, but just especially with the Doctor Who cosplays, they're all suits and like coats and stuff, and it's just like you cannot do it when it gets warm at all.
yeah, like I, what I normally do is I do a load of videos in one go, and then they'll be in your drafts. And hoping TikTok don't delete itself or something, because if it deletes itself, all them get wiped. So it's kind of risky, like they're doing that, but like it just saves time than doing it every single day.
Hmm.
But it is it's good fun. Like the Doctor Who is like a big kind of community, isn't it? Especially on TikTok. Like
Yeah.
um
Yeah, the Doctor Who community on TikTok is absolutely amazing.
yeah, like whenever I'm on the For You page, all I see is Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite fun. Like it never used to be like that. Like when I got TikTok, I never did a Doctor Who account straight away. I didn't really know what TikTok was because I got it when like first lockdown kind of stuff, and then I decided to create a Doctor Who page, because like I'll just do Doctor Who all day long. Like it's
It's got such a long history that you can do that. you know, there's just so much, and like so much hidden lore. Like you can just go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole of content, and
Yeah,
not just like content that they've made, but fan content as well. So there's just loads of things to just delve into and talk about and get obsessed with.
yeah. It's gonna be. It's nice to do it, and it's nice, like, say you get people who even comment you, like, on your videos, and say that they like it, because it does take a time. It does take a while to make one video, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes
Usually.
longer than people think. Like the videos themselves are only a couple of seconds long, but you know, you have to re-record those videos over and over again. And especially with like transitions, like they look so effortless, but you have to stand in the exact same place and the camera can't move and all sorts if you want it to look smooth. And it's like a lot more goes into it than people realize.
Yeah. I always get told, well, when I'm doing a video, is that I should do like a blooper kind of thing, like, because you get so much wrong,
You do.
um, and maybe not saying the right things when they go wrong. It's like, why did I do that? Why? I, I did that bit wrong, and I'm laughing now. Um, but I should do that, But I just delete them because I don't like them.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I've saved a few funny ones, but I don't have enough to make them into a full video. Like I've done one before, but that only really happened with the speaking ones because when you're just lip syncing, it's usually just blah, 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 and then it's like, oh, we'll just delete that because it's not even funny. No one will care. Because
yeah, yeah,
I don't do a lot of videos that I speak in.
yeah. I
Um,
I I've done a few where I do speak. Like, before, I've done you know, David Tennant in his pajamas speech at the end of his the Christmas Invasion.
yeah.
We talked to the Sycorax in the ship. I've done that one because that's fairly easy to remember. Um, but I don't really use it. Like, people know what I sound like, I guess, because you go more confident. Like, at first, you don't really feel it to use your own voice. Yeah, but it is like, I did do a video about like Doctor Who locations because I like go. It's kind of new hobby of mine just to go to a Doctor Who location where Doctor Who's been filmed.
Mm.
Um, and I was like, because it's mostly filmed in Cardiff, isn't it? Um, and I've never been to Cardiff in my life, but I'm gonna go and just go to a few locations.
So good.
Yeah,
Doctor Who experience while it was still open. Just before Capaldi was announced as the 12th Doctor, I think. So around about then, but that's no longer there. But obviously, all the filming locations are still there, and there's still lots of stuff to see, and Doctor Who shops as well, small businesses. It's very fun.
yeah. Because I did go to a Doctor Who experience. I think there was one in London when Matt Smith was Doctor, um, and I went to that, and I imagine that it's fairly similar because it was quite big, and like you go through the TARDIS, you go through like a good experience kind of thing. And I've been to the Worlds of Wonder. That that that's quite cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want to go at some point, but it's just like
Mm,
paying money to see things and take photos. So
mm.
I've heard that it's worth it though. So I'm genuinely thinking about it, especially since it's like ending in October. So there's not much time left to go. So
Yeah,
yeah,
not really. Like, if you think about it, it hasn't been open that long, but it goes really fast.
yeah, it does. I
Yeah,
remember when I was seeing like posters for it, and it's like, oh, that's happening in a couple of months. Yeah, and now it's like it's ending soon.
yeah. I wouldn't mind going back, but it is quite a long time.
Mm.
Like you gotta, there's so much you gotta do to get there and stuff like that. Um, and it like if it's go to Scotland, isn't it? Like like after that, it's the next place they go in is Scotland with it. So um, I guess that's good. It's not like the Doctor Who experience that you're used to. It's just like you're just going to see like props
Yeah.
and different monsters maybe. I didn't. because you know on your first go, you want to take as many pictures as you can, and maybe do a few videos, because that's what I did. I took that to my advantage.
Yeah, like,
Uh,
we'll get your money's worth. You've paid for a
yeah,
ticket. Might as
yeah,
well get your money's worth in content.
yeah. Because I did a few with Cassandra, because of course she's speaking, and do a few like with, but like when she was in it. I didn't have much. I was going to do more for a Face of Bow one, but the Face of Bow one I did was quite cool, because behind Face of Bow is the Catwoman, I
Mm.
got in the episode, so it's quite cool down next to each other, so you can make a little video of it. And then you got the
Yeah.
Water of Mars. You got faces face heads on like a shelf, and
Wow.
I did a video because I had the Water of Mars head.
Mm.
And I did it where it was like I was running away. Because you know, in that scene where I think David Tennant said, "We got to go," and he saw them dripping. I always like that scene, and he just runs, and then yeah, I did a
Very
few,
visually interesting with the water. Yeah.
yeah. But when that episode was aired, I was petrified. Um, I was,
Yeah, it's another word for visually interesting, just terrifying.
yeah, like I was petrified, like I couldn't drink water afterwards. It's like I don't want to turn into water creatures. But
That's what Doctor Who does, though. It just scares you of absolutely everything they can think of. Like
yeah,
Santa Claus, snowmen, shadows, breathing, blinking. What are we allowed to do, Doctor? Tell us that. What are we allowed to do?
yeah. I think that they've covered it all. Like you can't think, you can't blink, you can't I don't, the probably one you can't smell in the future, I guess. um, but yeah, it's good that they do these kind of episodes, Doctor Who, because like I think it's good when they scare you a little bit, because
Mm.
it's what I always think Doctor Who should do. Be um like I guess when you're older, you're not going to be that scared of it anyway. But I guess when you're growing up watching that kind of stuff, you're a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that the girl in the fireplace episode with the clockwork monsters under the
Mm.
bed. Like you're gonna think, oh, don't look under your bed when you go to sleep. But yeah, it's really good. Um, ha, ha, so what did you think of like the last series, like Flux, with Jodie and that?
I did like the Flux. I think it was a massive step up in quality. All the seasons were like massive steps up in quality. Season 12 was a lot better than season 11. Flux was better than 12. You know, it had its issues definitely, but in just looking at the Chibnall era as a whole, as it's by itself, you know, it was a step up in quality. Definitely, I enjoyed it. It was a bit confusing in parts, but
Yeah,
I enjoyed it overall.
yeah, yeah. It started off really good. I thought, like
Yeah.
with the Halloween apocalypse.
And I
Um,
loved all the old monsters. I think the returning monsters were done well in Flux.
yeah, I did quite like the Sontaran episode. I think
Mm.
one of the best ones I think of the series.
Mm.
I would say that one and the Weeping Angel one. Is it? I did like the Weeping Angel one.
Mm. Because it's just they're the most difficult ones to do because you know these monsters have come up again and again and again, and it's sort of keeping them refreshing, and you know it's really hard to do that. So the Weeping Angels were kind of like as scary as they've always been, but with something new. With the you know, so we've seen it like inside someone with the eyes because they like looked at it, but there's like a psychic with them inside of their head and that, and I thought that was really unique and different, and definitely added a new complexity to the monster.
Yeah, yeah. Like I did like the main villains of it, but it was very confusing towards the end. I think of the
Yeah.
series, what like how that happened and how that it went so quick. Like you spent nearly the whole series on them, and like they're the guys in charge, and just like that, last episode they're gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, Yeah.
But like that wasn't entirely Chibnall's fault. There definitely needed to be more time spent on it, and the pandemic definitely did hit Flux really hard, and there was a lot of struggling going on it,
Yeah.
during the
Yeah. Like COVID, of course, hasn't helped, has it? Like
no.
with that side of things, and it's been quite tough. It's upsetting like that with Jodie actually because like she hasn't got the amount of episodes that she's like you would normally get. You normally get the 13 episodes, really, wouldn't you? And
Yeah.
like they've only got the 10, like it, like 10, and then like if you count like maybe the festive specials, you might get maybe 11 a year, but it's not what like we're used to. But I think what Jodie's got, like she's done right. Like
Mm. Oh, she did phenomenally. Like with all the struggles that was she was faced with.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the last episode for her has in store though.
Yeah, like they have to get it right. They really have to, because I feel like Sea Devils was just sort of the problem. I think the main problem is Eve of the Daleks was so good.
Hmm.
So then like everybody was like, okay, this is getting to the end bits now. This one has to be amazing. And then Sea Devils was just like for me personally, it wasn't what I wanted. The Thasmin stuff was amazing, but I feel like that was focused on a bit too much, and there should have been a bit more attention paid to the story, because that for me, that episode was more confusing than Flux. I have watched that episode so many times, and I could not tell you the plot of it. Like, apart from the Thasmin part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I, I was a bit deaf when I watched that episode, but I didn't really know what happened anyway. Um, um, but yeah, it wasn't great. The episode really.
Mm. So I just really hope they can just step it up in that final episode, because I will not be able to cope if it's not amazing. I will be in bed for a week crying my eyes out.
Yeah,
I'll be doing that if it's good as well, but out of emotion, not like, oh, it was so bad. She deserves better.
yeah. Like I think that they're really risking it with like amount of people on that trailer, and there will be more. I imagine that there's going to be probably a lot more that they haven't shown. Otherwise we wouldn't have seen all those people in the trailer. Um,
Yeah.
would we? So like you've got the Master, the Cybermen. I wouldn't be surprised if the monster in Jodie's first episode's there. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if I can't remember his name, but yeah. So something the blue guy that had
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I can't remember him, but
Just
I meant to
not
think of it.
memorable.
No,
Like I
not
could probably name so many monsters out of Doctor Who. Tim Shaw, Tim Shaw.
yeah, yeah. Like Series 11 is like a blur to me.
Yeah.
Like there has no storyline in it, so
Really difficult to watch even for a hardcore Jodie fan like myself. It is really difficult to get through, and I usually just watch all the scenes that's sort of like purely uh not plot based, like all the emotional moments. Because
yeah, because there was no storyline, was there? It was just like separate episodes. I think they tried to do that maybe to
yeah.
get a wider audience, but I don't think that worked.
I mean,
Um,
it will have worked for some people, but
maybe,
just
yeah.
not for us. Yeah, like
Mm.
I'm sure kids loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure, like people growing up, Jodie could be their first Doctor, and that
Yeah,
they will love it, and I can see why because
definitely attracted loads of new fans,
yeah,
young fans, and I'm sure many adults love it as well, but just not us.
no, no, like, I can't even remember what happened in the last episode. Actually, I can't remember. But I remember series 12, because it was a master, and like you had the
Yeah.
master, and that's basically to do with that, and it had quite a good lot of things in it, and I think Dale her Flux was great.
Mm,
It was good. Um, but yeah, I just like you just worry, don't you? It's an hour and a half long, so that's good. But
yeah.
but you don't want these new characters, like old characters returning, to be like just a side character or just have maybe a scene or two. Like you want them to be involved in it, really.
Yeah. Chibnall does seem to really like classic Who though. So, and those companions. So I'm hoping his passion will translate into, really good writing out of appreciation for these characters.
Yeah,
Can only hope.
I'm hoping for K9 to be in it. I want
Yeah.
K9 in it.
Just K9 and 13. Like her just fawning over him, like, oh, could you go?
Yeah, K9 would be like, "Hello, mistress," or something like that.
Hello, master. I mean, mistress.
Yeah, yeah. I could see Joe Grant being in it actually, possibly.
I just want to see beef between like old companions and new companions. It never gets old. It never
Yeah.
gets old. But like Sarah Jane and Rose.
Oh yeah.
Is this who you replace me with then? Okay.
Yeah, I want to see Ace and I want to see Ace and Yaz or something. I imagine them having a little argument, and then Ace be like, "Yeah, I think I kicked a Dalek or something," or so you can't be that.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to seeing like older companions. And I imagine the Century Special will be a chance for maybe older Doctors to have a cameo appearance as well. And I would love Tom Baker in it. Just to repeat what you said before, you're going to be seeing past faces in it or something. Because it could be. I love it when it's a regeneration episode. If I like whatever Doctor it is, because it's always nice, isn't it? Even though you don't maybe want a Doctor to go, but you're just interested to see what they do in the regeneration, like what they say and stuff like that.
And especially because like, are they gonna do the thing where she regenerates into Ten, or is that going to be a separate story in itself and she is just going to regenerate into Shooty? Like, I'm just so interested in how that's going to play out and how they're going to do that, because everyone thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And like, I want them to actually do the joke. Like, oh no, it's a joke. He's not the 14th Doctor.
Yeah.
He's not doing that, but
yeah.
Just cool if they could.
Like the three options they can do. They could either regenerate into Tennant, regenerate into Shooty, or she could be regenerated. It just says to be continued into the 60th or something. But I would like to see a regeneration, because it'll be a bit sad, because like every Doctor has had a regeneration next Doctor straight away, haven't they? So I can imagine it will be obviously whoever it is, just for a brief second. But if it is David, I would love him to say what as soon as he regenerates. What?
Oh no, not again. Still not Ginger.
Yeah. But I imagine that will happen. Like if it doesn't, if it knowing the rumor is there, I will still scream. If it is 10, I'll be like, yay! Not because I don't want it to be Shooty or anything. I can't wait to see Shooty as a Doctor. It's gonna be great. But I guess it's the idea for getting Tennant in there is to maybe like, because Jodie's run hasn't been the best, not her fault. But like knowing David Tennant is a fan favourite, like when he was on Doctor Who, quite a lot of people watched it, didn't they? And it's gonna. I think it will get the viewers up, because you don't really want the same kind of viewage as you have for Jodie, because you kind of fear for the show a little bit, don't you? So that's something that I think they put in mind. We get David Tennant on here. People are gonna watch it. We'll get the views. And who doesn't love David Tennant?
I think it was definitely a good move on like everyone's part. I think that getting RTD back was like one of the only options at that point where a lot of the old fans left, gave up on the show. But a lot of the fans gave up on the show after Matt Smith To be honest, and there was a massive drop off after Cabaldi as well, because people were like, we don't want to see the Doctor as a woman, and multiple other reasons, not just that one. But they were like dropping like flies all the way since Matt Smith went. So to get all those fans back, is good for viewership, but maybe not so good for the misogynistic fans who was like, not my Doctor, who purely didn't like Jodie because she was a woman. We don't really want those ones back.
No, we don't want no ones back, because like it's weird, like people say that they don't want the Doctor as a woman, because the Master worked out was perfectly as a woman, as Missy. So that was great. And like you could say the same thing. I don't want to watch a Master episode because it's a woman. It's silly, because the Doctor can be, years ago, like it could have been a woman. They could have started it with a woman, but
it's been established in canon since, like, I'm pretty sure there was mentions of it in right in the middle of the classic era, or even before that. Like there was still mentions of it. We had Romana, who is a female Time Lord. It's like, I don't think we ever saw someone fully, swap genders, but there was definitely mentions of it, I'm pretty sure. And and then it was very heavily established in canon when Missy, changed to be Missy. So it's like, it's not like it came out of nowhere and it was just done randomly. It's been established that it can happen.
I can see Missy making it being a girl. I can see it a little bit, because it makes sense that if it could be a boy like Master, but I think it would be better like if it was a girl again, and because it just makes it a bit more diverse, doesn't it? Like if they change it around, so say, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what like Shooty Siri does, because I am excited for it and everything.
So excited. Neil Patrick Harris did sort of, I'm not sure if he was allowed to leak it or if it was an accidental slip up, but he did say that the Doctor would be gay. But did he mean that in a literal sense of the Doctor will only be attracted to non-women men, or does he mean like in a sort of camp way, or both?
Yeah, it's really interesting, because because I think it's really important never to like judge because you always get fans before a Doctor is announced to say, I'm not going to watch it because they've been in that program, or they were not very good in that program, because the good thing about acting is they're not going to be the same. Like I'm sure, like with David Tennant, he used his British accent, but he didn't use his Scottish. So in other programs he would have probably. But
different programs have different writers and themes and stuff, and most of the time they're not really comparable, because different genres have different styles and all sorts of things. And
that's good. But what I want to see in the new series is I want to see no companions to start with. I want to see the Doctor kind of find himself at the start. Because
I reckon the first couple of episodes definitely would just like to see the Doctor.
Yeah, maybe for like half a series or something, possibly, and then you get the other half of the companion, because like they get the companion the first episode, don't they, normally, and they help this companion, and like why did you fight monsters on his own for a bit? Because I like David Tennant briefly did that, not for long. Yeah, he did that on his own for a little bit. Matt Smith kind of you could say that, but he didn't for long either. But it's not normally for long, so it'd be nice.
Yeah,
it'd be nice. But yeah, and speaking of companions, it'd be nice to have like companions come into the show that you're gonna remember, like 20 years down the line or something like that. Like you got your Rivers, your Amy's, your Rory's. Like you're gonna remember Wilfred. Like you're gonna remember all these, aren't you?
Yeah. More Dans as well, because I feel like out of the Jodie, Dan will be the one. Like more characters like that, and like Nardo, like really kind-hearted, almost parent figures. I just love Nardo. I just wanted an excuse to talk about Nardo.
Yeah, Nodal was great. Like he was awesome. Like I like even Graham like
Yeah, Graham as well. Just that sort of nurturing, kind-hearted thing.
I think series 11 Graham was probably the highlight of it.
Yeah,
Um,
and Grace as well.
yeah, yeah. Grace was good, and
They
like
should have kept Grace. They should have kept Grace.
yeah,
Really should have, and like maybe killed Ryan.
yeah. I think that would be better.
Swap them round and then have him be the sort of motivation for it rather than Ryan, or just written Ryan's character better.
Yeah, Ryan's character wasn't very good.
No, it just lacked a sort of lacked a motivation. Like they said it was anger and he had anger issues, but that like never really was shown, because you can't just get angry sometimes. If you have that, that anger has to be present in everything. He has to attack everything, lose his temper constantly, have beef with everybody around him, push people away. And that's where the deepness of the characters come from, that just wasn't there in there. But Yaz did get that eventually, I think.
Yeah.
With her, it's like control. She wants to sort of control everything. We see that with her being a police officer, and I wish we'd have seen it more from the beginning, like this sort of control everything, like wanting to be the one in charge, and then wanting to have everything just like so, and not really being able to cope when it's not. So
yeah.
My completely unqualified writing position just as a fan on a show is that's how it should be played from the beginning.
Yeah.
Character motivations.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's great what like Russell T Davies is bringing to the show now, like with like more diversity with other communities, like bringing that into the show. Like you've got like like with Rick Yakin's funny character is going to be great. What's going to be happening with that character in the 60th? I'm quite excited by that, because
He definitely knows how to write a character fully and completely, and the stories as well, because there has to be a good balance, because you have to be able to relate to the characters and have that sort of thing with them and feel like you understand them, but the story has to be good as well, and he's just great at balancing that with like fantastic memorable villains as well as them doing things, and it's all around a very good balance, where Chibnall is very good at the sort of emotional parts, but sort of focuses in and tunnel visions on that sort of like Phasmin and the relationship between Graham and Ryan, and then sort of everything else just sort of gets left behind, really.
Yeah.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
That's a funny one. Like people always forget about how much people despise Moffat, like at the end, and just wanted him gone. They were like, "Oh, I wish we had Moffat back," and it's like, that's not what you were saying. That's not what you were saying around about then. You were like, Moffat.
Yeah, like they like they didn't have to
Yeah.
With Clara, they could have just kept her dead when faced the Raven. That I think that would have been better than an ongoing story with her, like afterwards.
Like he just kept bringing people back from the dead.
Yeah. Like I understand the last episode, because I understand bringing all the companions back for Peter's last episode, because that was understandable, because it was the guy with ghosts, and but I think Clara stayed a bit longer than she needed to be.
Yeah.
Because like that was Peter Capaldi's longest, like like when each Doctor has a word that used the most. Clara was the 12th Doctor's best word. Like you've got Geronimo 11th, Anansi 10th, and it shouldn't really be that like a name of a companion, really. But it's quite funny though. Yeah, but how would you see, like, do you see Yaz like living in the last episode?
I don't know. There's just so many ways they could go with it. I don't think it's gonna end well for her at all. I would like to see a villain arc, but it's too close. I feel like they can't do that in one episode. But I'd love to see evil Yaz.
Oh, me too.
Maybe something with the Maori, like that corrupted her brain or something and made it evil, or like something the Master did. I just love to see her kill 13.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've been saying this.
Yeah.
I've been saying this to people all series, and they say to me, "What, you want Yaz dead?" And I was like, "No, no, no. I want her to be evil. But I want her to be against the Doctor for once, because you never get that with a companion. Like, really now, they're always with them and stuff like that, and they're never against them. Like it could
Or they
be
like doubt them and have episodes of doubt which then get resolved in the end, and it's like, no, hit him,
yeah, because
hit him.
when we saw remember the Next Time trailer in this, like when we saw the Doctor say Yaz, and I wanted that to be like Yaz to do something bad to her. I wanted it to be that.
Like, yeah, like she's regenerating because Yaz has killed her.
Yeah, and then or something, or
Dan,
or Ace comes back and kills Yaz. That'd be good. And then Barty's be like, Ace, you should have been here this whole time.
Well, I mean, Dan does like kill like quite a few things. It's where he just picks up a gun and starts shooting things in one episode. So maybe it is Dan, and like all these evil Dan memes will play out, and he just like kills everyone.
Yeah, that'll be another thing, because I just want people to go against the 30th Doctor, because it'll be like she's betrayed. Like another Doctor does never feel that really. Unless it's the Master, really, like portraying the Doctor. You never get it with a companion. And I would love that. I know like it's an hour and a half long episode. Something can happen in there. Like like we don't know why the Master's back, or that really, or any of them. So something's obviously happened. That's caused that, and how Ace and Tegan are back for some odd reason we don't know. It's really interesting. And well, like Russell T Davies has watched it, and he said it was really good with lots of surprises. So I'm hoping he's right, and we do enjoy it. Like
they kind of have to say that anyway, so it's a bit of but he could have also not commented on it at all, so there's that.
Yeah, but I would say Chibnall, with all the faults in Jodie's era, I would be redeemed, and I would say that's a perfect ending if there was an evil story arc in it, or the Master, Sasha's character was not the Master at all. Maybe Yaz has been the Master this whole time, or Dan's been the Master this whole time, and he wasn't anything. He was just a companion. Someone's got in him, or some like demon, or someone's specific. It's
like an opposite pocket watch thing, where instead of like you have it in that, you have it in different person, then it like goes into something, I don't know, something cool that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's something that I want it to happen. Like we both want it to happen. Like no one's agreed with me yet, so or said anything that they agree with me. If I believe, I hope I'm right. but yeah, it hopefully that happens. But
I just want to be surprised by it. Like, I don't want them to play it safe. Like, Chibnall has never played it safe throughout the, like, Flux was the most mind-boggling thing, and like the Timeless Children, and just to, the he has the potential to create these wild ideas that nobody else could possibly think of. And I just hope, it's an idea that goes well with the ending, and just it's surprising, engaging, and fun.
That is one thing I like about Chibnall, that he does that really well with like keeping surprises. It's what I would have loved not to know who the next Doctor is, or something. It'd be nice to see that with seeing when the regeneration happens. And he done that really well with Captain Jack, and the fugitive Doctor. Like we didn't know about them. So he's done that really well, and I believe that this is why things have been kept quiet. There's no been kind of commercial things yet, has there? Which people are disappointed about.
Literally the only thing we have is the next time thing, and I think by this point there should be something, like at least the episode name, or just something else, or some more marketing at least.
Yeah, imagine if it's called End of Time Part 3. I can see that like in the 60s or something, that like with David Tennant maybe going back in his past fixing things. There
must be a reason they've kept it quiet though. It could possibly because the title gives it away what it is, like Evil Dan. Evil Dan. Yaz is evil.
Yeah. But one thing I would like to see in a regeneration episode is when the Doctor regenerates quite soon. Not like at the end. Because it's an hour and a half. It's basically a movie, isn't it? Like our last episode. Basically a movie. Like we haven't got, the closest we've got is The End of Time, I think Part 2, where it's about an hour and 16 minutes. To like an episode like that. But it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be nice. But with autism, like the Doctor does show quite a lot of things to do with autism. Do you think?
Especially 13 and 11.
Yeah, they're very similar, aren't they? 13 and 11. Yeah. Like if you sort of talk about food textures as well, like with 11 in the 11th hour, like he doesn't like all this food, and then he gets to the fish finger and custard part, and he loves it.
That non-stop, and it's like,
Yeah. But do you think it's like a clothes thing as well, where the Doctor just wears kind of the same clothes quite a lot of the time? Yeah, and playing with a Sonic, like it's quite a century, I suppose. And when they, even in us, like we're doing videos, you might want to play with your Sonic screwdriver, just play with it and do stuff with it. I think
just throwing it up there.
Yeah. But the only thing I was disappointed with Jodie is how it was made, her Sonic, because it was like a few seconds, her making her Sonic. And
what a whole montage of it with close-ups and inside mechanisms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I did like how she made it herself. I feel like they should have stuck more with that, because they had it in parts where she was like fixing the TARDIS and stuff like that. So I wish she'd have been more of a maker Doctor who made lots of things on screen.
Me too. It would have been nice, wouldn't it? Because I think I would love to see it in an episode in the future, like you have Matt and Jodie in an episode, because they're very alike.
Yeah.
Like they're really jokey, aren't they? It's like if 9 and 12 were in an episode together, it'd be a similar kind of thing, because they're similar, aren't they? They're quite they get to the point and stuff. So
they would just start fighting each other.
It would be like that. But yeah, like that, they all have those things, as well as maybe not explaining things as well. The Doctor doesn't really like to explain. And if a person like Yaz continues to ask questions, the Doctor gets frustrated. But the funny part when kind of they like the 30th Doctor said, "Oh look, our first date" or something like that, and then later on she says, "I'm married."
Like, what?
Yeah.
Even more than my wife. You what?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed when you said that. Like you know when 13 was like, if I would, I could. Like now, I would really want to, like more than before. And it's kind of not being very loyal to River there.
Not fair to River.
Yeah,
Like, at least say, like, just as much as, not like even more than my wife. Like,
yeah, you kind of cheating on your wife there a little bit. So that kind of stuff.
well,
Uh,
I mean, River had other husbands as well.
yeah, yeah, I guess.
I guess
I,
it's just they're just not bothered about that
I,
sort of an
maybe.
open marriage,
Yeah,
polyamory type thing.
yeah. But if they ever did bring River back, it had to be really nicely done because the story's kind of finished, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they should bring River
Mm,
back.
me
Like,
too.
I'd love to see it, but at the same time, I just, you know,
Like,
like audio stories are fine,
yeah,
but not in the actual series.
yeah,
Or like stuff that's already happened, like like little dates with
yeah,
11 and stuff like that,
yeah.
just in audio stories. But I don't think they need to really continue that
Or
anymore, unless they have a really good idea for it that fits
yeah.
fine. But I think it would be hard to make anything fit, really.
Oh, if they did like maybe like a sideshow ju ju just about River or something like that. Um,
Mm. Yeah,
because
spin-off, River
yeah,
spin-off.
yeah, spin-off, yeah. Um,
I would like to see Space Wives though. That's the only exception. Like, I wouldn't like to bring about unless it was Space Wives, anything Space Wives. Space
yeah,
Wives spin-off. River
yeah,
and 13.
yeah. Well, if
I
it,
don't care what
yeah,
they do. I don't care what they do, what the plot is. Just doesn't need to be a plot. Just have them together, like going on cute little dates and like, pinging the suspenders and that. Because that's what Alex Kingston did to all the 13s, like ping them.
that's it. It's gonna be. It's something that would be nice to happen. I think Russell wants to do that. He wants to have a few more
Yeah.
Doctor Who spin-off shows. Um,
Mm. Oh, so excited for the
um,
spin-offs to return,
yeah,
especially after Class. Although,
yeah,
like, I didn't hate Class for
yeah,
some of it, but just, just RTD's so good at them.
yeah. Like Class wasn't great. It wasn't good either. But like the good thing about it was just seeing the 12th Doctor in it. The other
Yeah,
people in it didn't have any meaning to me.
like it had its moments, but then it just went completely off the rails.
Yeah, like who are these people? Well, like you don't know who they are. They did one series like, which was okay. Don't bring it back. Uh, um, like it'd be nice to just have something like even if they had like the old companions all together and do like a little thing with them, or like if Ace and Tegan sing what they do after this next episode.
Jenny, Doctor's daughter.
Yeah, yeah,
All the other Jenny, Paternoster gang, like they have big finishes. I don't care. I want a proper spin-off. They deserve a spin-off. They're a great trio. I want
yeah.
Paternoster gang spin-off.
They need. It's a shame that I think that would have been really good for them to be in
Mm.
with Jodie. They'd have done really well. Um, with
Yeah,
with
just
her.
Vastra eyeing her up all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
And Jenny, like, stop it.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
we last saw him in Peter's first episode, didn't we? Um, and it'd be nice just to see him again. But that's another thing I think. Like once Shooty's there, it'd be nice maybe just to look to the future, not always look into the past for
Yeah.
companions. I think for the 60th and this Joe's last episode, maybe your chance to have as many old people as you want, like there, and then with Shoot, we kind of focus on the future now, like of Doctor Who. Like, I don't know about Yasmin's funny character called Rose. I don't know if that's going to be a companion.
Mm.
Um, possibly. But it's all interesting stuff. I think.
Yeah. I'd like a fresh start.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's kind of new like
No,
regeneration.
would like a non-human companion or a historical companion. It would be very difficult to do a historical companion, but I think it's doable. And it, it would be something different. It was something to sort of break the cycle. But like another Time Lord, maybe bring Romana back, or like a Time Lord that like ran off ages ago and managed to get off Gallifrey before the war and is just chilling on a planet somewhere. Something like that. Just something new, but new and different.
Yeah, like I like a non-human companion. Yeah, I'd like you say Time Lord, just going with the Doctor. Like
Because we've just had this like humans that don't know anything and stuff like that, but maybe like an alien who does know something and gets surprised by the humans instead, and the Doctor has to kind of be like explaining human things and maybe not so well, and then this alien's just like trying to brush the teeth with a fork.
it's something that it'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
Like just a non-human person in the TARDIS. Um, but yeah, I am interested to see what the new TARDIS looks like with Shooty. That's gonna be nice. In my head, it's more like the concept of the. I like the shape of 11 and 10 TARDISes.
Mm.
I like a shape like that with like maybe a bit of red, a bit like a colourful TARDIS. Not,
Disco lights.
yeah,
Glitter ball. I want it to be really camp. I really so desperately wanted to be absolutely camp, but like David Bowie Goblin King kind of camp.
that'd be
Specifically
good.
David Bowie camp, like his flavor of camp.
That that would be interesting. That would, yeah, because it's something that like I want it to be different. I want them to explore the TARDIS more as well. Like show us the bunk beds, show us the swimming pool. We want to
Yeah.
see this kind of stuff. But
Yeah, we never get to bloody see these rooms that he's talking about. And just anything like law wise, I'd love that. Like to go deeper into Time Lord law.
yeah,
Well, I'd love that, to see more bits of the TARDIS, and or to him to explain more things, just little throwaway lines about Gallifrey, just stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. It's got to be something that I just thought about because like it's gonna be. I'm really interested to see what they do with the new series. Like
Mm.
I'm not sure if it will air next year or the year after. Depending on how much they do on the 60th, I guess. Um,
Yeah, because there's
like
definitely a lot of work being put into 60th, so that might kind of have a knock-on effect of when they can start filming, other stuff.
yeah, because it's unknown if any other doctors are going to be involved in it.
Yeah.
Um, like, is this just a Donna and Doctor storyline for the 60th, or are they going to be bringing back a Matt Smith and Amy and Pond? Or
I think Matt Smith definitely has a potential to turn up. I don't know if like I don't have this feeling that he definitely will, but there is a potential. And Christopher Eccleston as well. He's like mentioned Big Finish and stuff like that. I think he's definitely one of the less likely ones to come up. Classic Doctors are probably more likely than him to turn up, honestly. I'd like to see Tom Baker again, but I don't know if they'd do that again.
yeah,
Um,
Eighth Doctor maybe.
Jodie's too soon to come back, so I don't think they'd,
No,
regenerate her and then bring her back immediately.
we'll see her in the Senate. We'll see her in the
Yeah,
10 years time. So,
yeah,
so,
so,
yeah. But I'd like to see the Eighth Doctor in it or
yeah,
something
that'd be so good.
because he hasn't been. Yeah, was in the episode, weren't he? In a little mini
Yeah,
episode as
only
well.
like the movie, and then yeah, it'd be good to see him again. And the like flashback scenes in
Yeah,
the 50th and the
yeah. I'd like to see flashback scenes.
the potion room with the peoples.
Yeah, yeah. Like it'd be nice to
Hmm.
see like flashbacks. Because what I think might probably happen is when David, it just assuming David is going to regenerate. Um, I can see it. It'd be a regeneration, and like like it going back maybe to the 10th Doctor storyline, just for David figuring out what's happened, why is he like this? Maybe have to fix a few things, fix what happened to Donna maybe, and then go on. So like Donna,
Probably doesn't fix what happened with Donna, but like he has to for the episode. But I just, she was happy.
yeah, like where were the doctors around? Chaos always. Um,
I hope they put it back and fix it at the end.
yeah, maybe this is like a Clara moment. It's maybe like a Clara moment, isn't it? Where she has to be something has to happen where he needs Donna's help, and then and then it's all restored at the end. But there was a deleted scene, wasn't there, from that episode where she lost her memories. Like the scene was where she was going to hear the TARDIS. That deleted scene, which it's good that they took it out because it won't make much sense. Like if she's recognizing that TARDIS, she should be getting really hot. So and there's Cybermen in the TARDIS as well. So it's all pretty. Yeah, it's really interesting. We see all this kind of stuff, filming it and like pictures, leaks and stuff, but we still don't know what's going to happen until it does. Yeah. Do you want to say a little bit about like what you do like with your like autism like kind of work and stuff?
Yeah, so I work one-to-one with students who just need a little bit of help to sort of get to the level where other kids are at, really. So it's hard to describe specifically what I do for each kid because each kid is very, different and
Of course, yeah.
has their own needs. But yeah, I just help them out with whatever they need. And yeah, if they need breaks, I'll take them for a little walk around school. And some of them need help with spelling, sounding stuff out, or just focusing. So it's sort of a wide range of things. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been have you been enjoying it like doing that and helping them?
Yeah, it's so rewarding because you feel like you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
and because it's not the only thing I do, because I do cover work as well, so I cover lessons. And there's just so many kids in there who just aren't bothered whatsoever and just don't want to do it. But and then I go work with kids who desperately want to be on the same, do want to do good, want to do the work, but just can't. And then you like help them do it, and it's like, oh, I get it, I understand now. And then they like start working through it, and it's just really rewarding. I almost cry every time they're like, oh, I get it now.
yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good fun because, like you say, like everyone with autism and like it's going to be different, and that's a good thing about it, because like people have autism and special interest, for example, where it's rewarding, like helping them, I guess, and then like
Yeah.
them wanting your help, and they them get, and then I guess you like being in charge sometimes, or if you're covering a lesson, maybe. um, so I think that is rewarding as well. Yeah. But like apart of doing this series, like not everyone on here has autism, because I thought it's good because like you got people on here, um, who know it, like who don't know it, and you kind of
Yeah.
teach them a little bit too. So and it's good because like I've learned things as well. Like people on here, some have dyspraxia in the series, and that's talked about in Doctor Who. And how people feel about the storyline with Ryan Sinclair, how that went with his storyline with dyspraxia. So like everyone's different, and like people like it. Some people don't. Some people get offended. Some people are okay with it. Um, but it would be nice in the future, maybe Doctor Who does a storyline, or an actor goes on there has autism, because they're starting to do that now, like with um, other things, other communities getting involved. And the more things Doctor Who does about that, more people will watch the show because, oh look, a person has that, and I have that, or a friend has that, and it will gain more engagement, I think.
Yeah, and Doctor Who definitely attracts a lot of autistic people. I feel like just because of the nature of the show and the sort of outsiderness of the Doctor, who feels, who is often put on Earth, which is, a planet where he's not really from, and people act differently and stuff like that. So, you know, I feel like that attracts a lot of autistic people, and then sort of having that representation on the show would, you know, help them see themselves in the character, help educate the people around them that are maybe watching with them, and you know, and then it gets in the media cover these, you know, stories, and then more people see it. And yeah, definitely would like to see, you know, more specific representation in Doctor Who, but also just in general in shows, because more accurate representation, because there has been representations, and not all of them were very thought out or particularly helpful. Um,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they got to be really careful. Like
Yeah.
not just Doctor Who, just any show that does it, because there's been autism representations in other shows, and not all have done it correctly. Like not like a show like the Undateables, for example. That is the
Yeah, I
kind
hate that.
in the word it undermines it. That doesn't it? Like people
The,
undateable.
the concept of it is okay, but you know, then once you put that in reality and you see what they're actually doing with the show, it's just so, you know, people can go, oh, and stuff like that. And it's like, but
No.
you know, it's just icky. Just
Yeah, it's not.
yeah.
It's not good, and like it's not good. Like the name is not a good name. Like you don't. It kind of makes you feel like if a person's on it, like you're undateable. You can't be dated or anything like that. And
Yeah,
quite a
you
lot of
can't
people.
unless you find someone like you, and it's just like
Yeah, yeah, and quite severe autism on there, I think, as
mm,
well. And it's not everyone autism is going to be like we said before. Everyone's different, and like it's they on the show that they show all of it before, like getting dressed and the kind of stuff like that. Um, and it's quite personal, I think.
mm,
But yeah, you have those shows, but like that, and you have in other films like people have it like autism or other stuff. But I think it's important when an actor is playing a part that they either have it themselves, or
mm,
they have that if they're playing a part with autism or a person with dyspraxia, they have to really know it, or
yeah.
like read it up, or something like that, because you don't want to play a part and you're doing it wrong, and like people who are watching it, they have it themselves, or they know of it, and you're doing it a bit not right.
Mm,
Because I think the thing about Ryan Sinclair's storyline was that he like the storyline wasn't done to its best, because it was really quick. It was almost like just about a bike, really,
yeah, and
and
like climbing up something at some
yeah,
point.
yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that was all in the first episode, though.
yeah.
And
It
then
was
they
really
might
quick.
one thing later on, yeah, and it's like that's, you know, like it really.
Not enough time, really, is it? Like to do a storyline like that. Which I know with Russell and yeah, Yasmin Finney's transgender storyline in Doctor Who,
Yeah.
it's going to be, I guess, a long. It's going to be not just like a few seconds. It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. Like I guess it's that I imagine it will be like telling her family in Doctor Who, like with Donna, I guess, is the mum, or it's going to be the mum.
Mm.
And then you've got the other guy. I can't remember his name, but like the dad, Temple or something Temple. Um, it's going to be dad. It'd be nice just to see like explaining, like maybe coming out as being trans or something like that.
Mm.
If they do it like that, but it's really exciting that more stuff is like that. But like we say, they just have to do it right, really.
Yeah. Like I think Chibnall had sort of the right original idea. Like he was like, oh, let's put, you know, some representation in. But, you know, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it and go for it,
Mm.
because, you know, it's not just about being woke and including it just for sort of, you know, just to be kind or something like that. Like there's genuine people who, you know, have it, who are going to be watching, and you know, there's people who've never heard about it, and this is their only exposure to it, is what you're showing them. And you know, that's very important for people sort of who write very stereotypical things and do limited research. Like there's so many shows that only show the same type of what they have, that they've just copied off loads of other shows.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be, yeah, they don't, I guess that's just a learning curve for
Yeah,
them now, like, and like knowing that that's happened and stuff. It's like it's stuff I need to keep in mind, because I guess it wouldn't be the only storyline people probably get offended by. There've been
yeah,
probably others in the
yeah.
past, like possibly the Titanic storyline may offend people if they have people that like like family members who are still alive, possibly, or stuff like that, because people do get offended by these things, which is not always Doctor Who's fault, because but they just need to, like every show,
Careful,
don't they,
yeah.
just think,
Just be
just
careful, do the research, and don't just do the research, you know, don't just Google things, ask people, talk to people, go to you know, interact with people who have these things, look at real life accounts and like YouTubers, TikTokers who have these things, and you know, ask them questions instead of assuming, guessing, and
that's
you
right.
know, looking stuff up, I think is the best way of going about it. But if you go into it with an open mind and like with a positive thing, and you know, like I want this representation, I you know, go into it with good intentions, then you know, and try your best, then you really, you know, can't get it wrong. But it's the people who just want to do it for the sake of it that, you know, often the end result isn't what it should be.
Yeah, that's completely right. Well, but before we go, Ori, is there a quote that you kind of relate to in Doctor Who at all? Is it,
Well, there's lots of
yeah,
quotes, but sort of the first thing that I can think of is without reward, without witness, and sort of being kind and good and doing things um, not because you think you're going to get something out of it, but just because you know you can help out and make a positive change in the world. So just do things without reward.
yeah. I think it's really important, like, to do things without reward, because you shouldn't expect a reward what way you're doing something for someone, should you? Like, it should just be out the kindness of your heart, I guess.
Yeah, you should want to be kind because it will make people feel good and feel happy and improve their day. You shouldn't want to do it because to get something back.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, thanks, Ori. It's been great talking to you and talk about Doctor and autism and all that.
yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me on.
yeah. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and yeah, good fun.